Right, hello everyone. So today I'm going to be doing another League of Legends commentary, and we're going to be taking a look at a game that I played yesterday on my live stream. I've done this once before, I think, but basically what I'm doing is playing back the video from my live stream, so this is not live, this is recorded. If you don't know where that is, you can find it at twitch.tv/Ataran, and you should follow it, because it's awesome. Anyways, so this game, the reason I want to show you this is I gave up at about 15 minutes, and then some things turned around, and we were able to pull off a strategy that will allow you to come back from games that you have lost. I was tired and cranky, and I'd been losing a lot before this game. And I think that it's a really instructive game to sort of showcase how it works. So this game I'm going to be playing Tryndamere, and I'm going to be top lane, and we're going to be talking about how that works. The reason I picked Tryndamere is because the enemy team had a Wukong, and you can usually win that lane. Tryndamere is very good against any all-in melee champion, because he'll usually win those all-in duels. As you can see, and this will become important later, my team has two incredibly strong counter-initiate skills in Hecarim and ult and Sona ult. So, as in, when someone dives in on them, those ults dives in on us. Those ults can give us a certain amount of defense. And also, we have an excellent wave clear champion who provides global map presence in Twisted Fate. We're going to be tabbing out to look at the stream chat occasionally, so forgive me for that. That's just what I was doing during this game. And of course I'm not controlling the camera now, but you'll be seeing it more accurately as I was playing the game at the time. I'm running attack speed, marks, armor, seals, magic resist per level, glyphs, and movement speed quintessences on Tryndamere. This is just to give me some chasing power and more dueling power with the attack speed marks. As well, armor seals and magic resist or magic resist per level glyphs are basically mandatory on pretty much everyone. And I'm running 21-9-0, getting armor and health in defense and, you know, the sort of standard offense runes, offense masteries. I don't know any of these players. This was just a solo queue game. It was played ranked in Gold 4. So yeah, we're going to be... The other team also, it's important to note, does not have much in the way of wave clear. So they have no champion that can wave clear at range, except for Elise if she goes heavy AP and can use her like explosive spider, but that's not very efficient wave clear. If they had something that can nuke down waves a lot more effectively, like a Lux or a Jace or something along those lines, then we wouldn't have been able to pull off the win that we did. I'm sorry to spoil the game, but since we're talking about how I won it, then it's pretty obvious that we won. Alright, let's just skip forward a bit till when the game starts. Okay, so I'm up against Wukong, so I'm going cloth armor and 5 potions. And I'm going to be helping Hecarim and then trying to get a fast level 2 and beat Wukong in a duel. I'm running Ghost and Ignite because those will give me chasing and killing power, which is what you want on Tryndamere. As well, you really want to be able to out-duel anyone on the other team. There shouldn't be anyone who can 1v1 you. So that's the goal when you're playing Tryndamere. The other team is not invading yet. We're just setting up to defend the blue buff. They may invade, because Hecarim usually starts blue, but he's not the easiest champion in the world to counter jungle, so should be okay. I have, as you can see, 51 armor to start, which should set me up pretty well for fighting Wukong. He shouldn't be able to do that much damage to me, even with his percent armor reduction. He's all physical damage, except for his W, which doesn't really do anything, and yeah, you just want to buy armor against him. If this were a lane that was not all physical damage, I might have considered going something like Longsword 2 potions, just for the extra damage, or even just a Doranblade start. So I'm going to put a fair bit of damage on this golem. I don't need to get to the lane super fast, and also I want to build Fury for when I get up there. I didn't build quite enough Fury that it won't have decayed before I get into lane, so that was a bit of a miscalculation by me. You usually want to come into lane with your Fury existing so that you can fight. I'm also missing last hits, which is horrible on any champion, but even worse on Tryndamere, who relies on those early last hits to build Fury and be able to outfight the opponent. If you ever get stuck with no Fury, then your damage is very low, and you won't get random criticals, so it makes it much harder for you to fight. So I'm going to be sitting here last hitting. I don't mind taking those auto attacks from Wukong. He's going to take as much damage from the creeps as he does to me, and I will happily trade autos with him as well. I have a native heal and he doesn't. Using your heal isn't the best unless you can push them back, because again, as I say, you don't want to be caught without Fury. But when you can hit level 2, spin into him, do some damage, we're trading here. I believe here I do use my Fury, just to, give myself a little bit of a heal, and because I can build it up fairly quick. It's important to recognize when you're on Tryndamere, when there are low creeps that will let you build your Fury back up very quickly. Just last hitting and getting a good push going. Wukong, last hit's okay under turret, but he's not a champion with like free last hitting under turret like Irelia, so if you can push him in, it will cost him some creeps. Now, unfortunately, I get caught dueling here, and Elise throws that incredible stun. She aimed that perfectly and hit it exactly as I hit my spin. Also, I clicked my ignite with the intention of fighting Wukong, and then tried to back out. So not only did I die there and give first blood, I also failed to, I misdetermined my role in that gank. Maybe if I had stood and fought, I could have killed them, but with Elise's incredibly well-aimed stun there, then that probably wasn't going to happen anyways. Wukong, as you can see, as you know, is one of those champions who snowballs ahead pretty well. So getting first blooded there by Elise is really bad for me. I also clicked the wrong creep there and just miss a creep, which is pretty bad. But since he's basing, he's stuck around and left the lane in a weird spot. Hopefully I can push it up and get it into the turret here, because that'll cost him a lot of CS. So I'm doing my best to push as quickly as possible using my E and everything. But unfortunately, the next wave is going to arrive, so Wukong's going to get back before he misses anything. And the wave is going to be left in an awkward spot for me. So basically, everything at this point in the game is going wrong for me. I am CSing well, and I'm denying Wukong fairly effectively. Or I'm not well, but like I'm CSing better than Wukong. I actually don't tab very often this game, so I apologize for that. It'll be hard to check the CS. But my CS, because I keep pushing him under turret, is higher than his. And his keeps going down. I thought about pathing down there to take the wolves, or see if Elise was behind TF in the jungle, but I noticed that Elise is bot, and Wukong's pushing back out from the turret, so I just want to be here to get these creeps instead of going to do the wolves. Going to do the wolves will cost me more than it'll get me. Wukong uses his invisibility there, which I don't think is correct, because he really needs that as a disengage, not as an engage against Tryndamere. So as you can see, I get a favorable trade against him there. That time I sort of fuck up my trade and don't. But because I have a Dornblade and he has dodge boots, we're pretty even in terms of fighting capabilities. The dodge boots will help a lot, but because he has 79 armor. But the good thing about Tryndamere is that he's a manaless champion, and his damage is sustained. So one of the rules for defending against people in general is, this is more true of casters than it is of attack damage characters, but sustained damage characters are much more damaged by you getting health than by you getting resistances. And burst damage characters, you prefer to get resistances against. That's just the way the math works out. So, since he's building armor instead of something like a Dornblade or Dorn Shield, which would give him a little bit of health and sustain, my sustained damage will slowly wear him down. And as you can see there, he ran out of mana, he tried to ult me, and I just like auto-attacked him through it, because there's nothing that he can really do to push me out of lane. So that gave me a huge advantage, because Wukong wasted all of his mana trying to harass me, and I just like knocked him down. So now I've decided that I'm winning this lane well enough, I'm just going to pick up a straight up Avarice Blade. This will stack with our Twisted Fate to give me more bonus gold. And of course it will eventually build into a Shiv. Now you want to get a Shiv when you're intending to split push, which I am, and 1v1, because it pushes very effectively, and Tryndamere pushes quickly, but the Shiv helps you push much more quickly. It also, of course, gives you critical strike, and you gain native critical damage. And it gives you some mixed damage. Now, all of Tryndamere's damage is physical, which means that Wukong can build armor against me, but when I have a static Shiv, all of the armor that he's getting is not going to help against the magic damage from the lightning proc, and the lightning proc is increased by my passive critical damage increase, and is and will trigger more often by my critical chance, or by my passive damage increase, is what I'm saying. So that's why Shiv is such a good first item. A lot of people will go Blade of the Ruin King first on Tryndamere, and I think that this tends to be a mistake, because Tryndamere has a ton of chasing power already, so while the active is good, it's not critical for you, and you really want the mixed damage and pushing power first, I think. Although I will end up getting Blade of the Ruin King second, because it's just such a good dueling item. The thing is, Blade of the Ruin King is perfect for forcing duels. Here I fuck up. I don't notice that TF is on his way top, so I disengage direct, like, as TF ult, whereas had I just stayed engaged, we could have easily gotten that kill. So that was completely my fault. That was a free kill. I cost TF his ultimate just by not paying attention. Now, of course, TF could probably have changed that by pinging that he was on his way. He didn't ping, he just ulted. And it's much easier for your teammates to react if you let them know that you're on your way by pinging a lot. So usually when you're using a global ultimate like Pantheon, TF, or Shen, you want to spam your like a target ping and attack ping on the target of your ultimate, so that you can let your teammate know that you're on your way and going in. Now, bot lane is getting dominated, and that's a problem for us. And Elise is also getting very strong, and this is going to continue throughout the game. One of our main hopes at the moment, and TF of course has a very difficult matchup against Fizz. He picked TF first, and then Fizz picked into it. So basically, one of the main hopes that we have in this game is that I'm out CSing Wukong. But that's not going to be enough as long as we keep losing all of our lanes. And I am still losing even though I'm out CSing Wukong. I just stood and fought him there so that I can continue this. Eventually I'll start getting criticals, which as you can see I did that time. And I'm going to use my potions and my fury to regen, and then last hit to regain fury. I'm going to have to give up a couple creeps for this because of the trade. But the thing is, this sort of trade is worth it for me because Wukong is at half mana and has no mana regen. And it's going to cost him another half of his mana if he wants to engage in that kind of trade again. So, just by making these trades and then regenning off of my free regeneration and my manaless spells, I'm able to slowly wear Wukong down. It's just the advantage that manaless champions have over managed champions, which is one of the reasons that manaless champions are so popular in top lane. The only thing that I'm doing there that's special is preparing the creeps before they hit the turret, so that I can kill them, so that they don't die to the turret, and I get those last hits. And you can see I'm back at full health. Unfortunately, my missing ping was a bit late, and Hecarim was a bit overextended, so Wukong manages to roam and pick up a kill, which is really bad for us, because he was the one weak link on the enemy team. He was the one champion who was behind, and so getting him back ahead hurts really bad. I sort of hope he'll come back through the river, so I walk up that way to zone him, but he doesn't. He also has a blue buff now, so all of my work that I did into that I put into trying to run him out of mana went for naught. So that hurts. We're now behind everywhere in the game. Hecarim is behind. Elise is really strong. Wukong is now back in it because he has that second kill, and a blue buff. Or he has that kill and a blue buff. I think Elise got his first kill. I am still ahead of him in creeps, but not enough that it makes up for any of those other things. I can pretty much just ignore him when he goes on me. I will just try to last hit. I'm just trying to push this into the turret. He's trying to use his blue buff to push me out of lane, which he's going to succeed in, but since I was planning to head back anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm also going to walk back. Fizz is on his way, so I spin here to try to get my spin up faster for, if they tried to dive, then my spin would be up sometime during the dive again, because I spun early. As well, it just sent Fizz back. And now I can wait, pick up my static shiv, which I have entirely, and make my way back to the lane. And because I have this, and because Wukong's only building armor as defense, has no HP and no magic resist, the static shiv will actually do a lot. Hecarim ults out, sort of staggers back in, that's fine. That was a red card, but it doesn't matter, the gold card wouldn't have got the kill anyways, but at least they survived that. So we got basically a Hecarim ult for a Fizz ult. So as you can see, Wukong can't really fight me now, even with his blue buff, because I will just, I'll just get lightning procs on him, and I'll crit him, and he will eventually just take so much damage that he has to back off. And of course I have all this native sustain, so it's not easy. Now, of course, Elise is up here. I'm going to spin in and get the kill on the Wukong instead of trying to get out. I did ghost there, but Elise is going to be able to bite me. My Q goes off a little slow. I believe I'm cursing here and yelling about lag during the stream. I might have been able to survive had I hit my Q earlier, but probably not. Probably she would have been able to kill me anyways. But that's one of the good things about Tryndamere, is often you can, because you have such chasing power and such high damage, often you can survive long enough for that to happen. Unfortunately, while this is going on, TF just lagged out, walked into bot turret, gave Twitch a kill. So, that's causing us serious issues. And because I died, wasn't able to farm up, they're getting a lot of damage on the turret, knocking down, and I'm losing an entire wave of creeps because Elise was able to push it in, and I wasn't able to pick up my Vamp Scepter yet. So they 3-man ganked bottom and lost 2 players for nobody, and then I traded kills top lane. So again, things are going really badly. Lag happens, but that's okay. So this is a question that I get asked a lot about Tryndamere, which is, why don't you level your ultimate? And the answer is, if you look at the level up incentives on the ultimate, what you get is something like 10 seconds of lower cooldown, which is good, and increased fury regeneration. Now Hecarim dives in without waiting for the creeps to tank, takes an infinite amount of damage. Wukong's got double buffs, so his W's back up really quickly. And of course his ultimate was up. I'm trying to kill him here, but I don't have Ignite or anything, so that was just an awful dive by Hecarim. He needs to wait until I push up into the turret, so he doesn't tank those 3 free turret hits before going in. And of course Wukong with double buffs, his cooldowns got so good, because he got buffs again, that he's just able to use his W again and retreat from me. Also, Hecarim should really wait for me to tank that, for me to hit Wukong first, because I have my ultimate to tank an extra couple turret hits. I'm gonna take these wolves here because I need the extra gold just to pick up my Vamp Scepter, and I really want that. It'll help me out to stay in Wukong. But unfortunately, Hecarim has given Wukong 2 blue buffs, which is making our lives harder than they have to be. Or my life in particular, harder than it has to be. And I'm thinking there's no way we can possibly win here. People are diving turrets stupidly. TF's walking into bot turret and dying. Wukong already has like a bunch of items that he shouldn't have. At least we're picking off Fizz here because they dove stupidly. And I was like gonna run mid, but I can't give up this giant wave and lose top turret. That would just be horrible. In fact, I should not have staggered. And Wukong probably should have stuck around and just killed the turret. I can't kill him. I can't chase him down and kill him here. Not with his W active and me with no pink wards. One mistake that I've been making is I should be buying pink wards to try to get kills on the Wukong. Now, I think I was talking about... I interrupted myself talking about Tryndamere's ultimate. So as I was saying, the level up incentives on Tryndamere's ultimate are... It just gives you increased fury generation while you're in your ultimate and a small amount of CDR on the spell. And while the CDR is nice, it's not actually critical for Tryndamere's ultimate, which you will rarely need to use twice within 70 seconds, just because fights don't happen that often. Fights that are more than 1v1s, and Tryndamere should win all 1v1s without having to use his ultimate, basically. So, the increased damage on your E, or the increased damage reduction and slow on your W, as well as cooldowns on those two spells, are just better level up incentives than your ultimate level up incentives. So you just want to save getting your ultimate until levels 17 and 18, or getting levels 2 and 3 of your ultimate until levels 17 and 18. I'm pretty much just ignoring Wukong here. He uses his ultimate to fight me. I'm gonna... but he has his W. I used my ultimate there because he could have stayed in and gone on me. So we traded ultimates, and he's going to be able to take the turret here. Just because he's gotten so much support, and I've gotten sort of anti-support, that he's gotten ahead of me in terms of strength. But because I'm Tryndamere, as I continue to level and scale, I'll outscale him, and that should change fairly soon. Within a couple items that both of us get, I'll be able to 1v1 him, especially because he's not really buying defense. He's buying like brutalizers and things. If he had a Giant's Belt and a Chain Vest, it would be a completely different story. I wouldn't be able to fight him at all. Because tank, in general, in sustained fighting lanes, tank beats damage. But when you're both building damage, the manaless champion is going to win. So when you find yourself as a managed champion up against a manaless champion in one of these sustain damage lanes, these constant poke lanes, rather than a burst damage lane like if you're up against a Zed or something, this is different. But when you find yourself against a manaless champion, build tanky items rather than building damage. Wukong also just in general should build tanky items rather than damage. Like, I know his ult does a lot of damage, but he's just so much less effective as a damage champion than he is as a tank. Because his ult, the main effect is CCing everybody. Now, because Wukong left his lane for a bit, I'm able to knock down his turret, which is good. It's the first turret that we've gotten this game. And it puts us closer to on par to the enemy team. As well, I'm able to finish my Cutlass, and I'm going to wait 15 gold for my attack speed boots, just because that'll give me a nice power spike as well. And I need boots to catch up to Wukong, who has level 2 boots. This will make me faster than Wukong because of the aforementioned movement speed quint. And of course now I have my Cutlass as well as my W slow that will really allow him to catch up. And because I haven't leveled my ultimate, I have a second level in my W at this point. Which means that I should be able to chase down basically anyone. Once I finish my Blade of the Ruined King, I should be able to 1v1 anyone on their team except for Elise, who's incredibly strong and also does all magic damage, and I have much more armor than I have magic resist. You can see how much the static shiv is helping me counter push against the Wukong. And so I'm maintaining a nice CS lead. I'm up about 60 CS at this point, which is great. Obviously, that's an incredible CS lead at 20 minutes. Also, I have 160 CS at 20 minutes, which, considering that I've been ganked twice and we dove and, lost some stuff, is not bad. Now, my team is getting attacked here. Wukong chases in, is gonna die for it. And I think maybe I can kill the Lulu, but because she's under the turret, but at least hits a nice stun there, preventing me from getting my Cutlass off, and so I'm not able to pick Lulu off. I go over here to lifesteal off the Wraiths, but Fizz comes around, so I'm going to have to abandon this and just leave the race to him. But he actually chases in here, which I'm not sure what he's up to, and so I just turn, I slow him, Twitch slows him with his blade, and we just auto-attack him to death. Here I Ghost, at least hits a very nice stun, anticipating my spin, and then ease out. We go in, and here I make a huge error. I'm like, well, I think we can kill MF, but of course I forget that she has barrier and Lulu ult, so down I go, and down my entire team goes. Just not paying attention there. And I'm like, well, barrier plus Lulu ult. Sorry for the skip there, sometimes Twitch does that. And of course our Twitch is not able to pick off anybody. Wukong invises towards them, but my team is wise to that and backs away. So that mistake that I made there is because I am playing from behind mentally. I've already decided that we're losing this game because my team isn't playing very well, and I just am on tilt. So I fuck up, because when you're on tilt, you're going to fuck up more often. On the other hand, we're not dead yet, and we have really good wave clear in TF, so we can defend and stall really well. So this is the point in the game where we have to decide if we really want to win or if we're just going to give up. Because if we're going to give up, we might as well surrender now. If we're going to keep doing things like I did there because I've given up, might as well just surrender. I want to go split push bot by myself. Twitch, of course, wants to go farm it. It's early, but I make a dumb error and go down here. Now I'm going to try to help get this turret, but I don't think I really needed to be here for the turret. I could have been up top. So we think we can get this turret. It looks like we can against just MF. I should be able to like walk in because we saw Fizz top, but Wukong and Elise are down here. For some reason, I think I'm Twitch. I'm like following Twitch on my screen, so I don't ult. Not that it would have saved me anyways, but I got hit by another Elise stun. We just like were not aware of who was where. I thought we were safe because I saw Fizz top, but of course we were not safe. And now Fizz has landed a really good fish on the Twitch and is able to de-aggro the turret and get out. So we lose yet another kill. And here I actually vote to surrender, which is rare. I rarely vote to surrender. But I've already pretty much decided that we've lost the game, but my team sticks in it. So things are going very badly. We're 20-6. We are down 3 turrets, because I got top turret at least. We're diving turrets like morons, and things are not easy for us. Also, I haven't picked up, if you've noticed, I had at 21 minutes 158 CS, and at 25 minutes I have 164 CS because I've just been dying all game. So I haven't gotten a creep in 5 minutes. That's horrible when you're a farming champion like Tryndamere. Now we do see that Wukong is top, and so maybe we can pick up the dragon, or contest this dragon. But Wukong is on his way down. Fizz is mid, but he's and low, but that's okay. We can't do anything to him, so I just have to head back top and counter push against Wukong some more. I will have Ghost and Ignite, and I have my Cutlass, so I should be able to fight him, I think. So I'm just going to clear this wave and try to pick up my creeps. My farm a little bit more. I should be moving in between my auto attacks to trigger my Shiv more, but again, when you think you're losing, you get lazy, and that's not an excuse, right? That's the only excuse that I have to offer for that. Now Wukong goes in here with no mana. He does have enough for an ultimate, but I am able to chop down Fizz before he gets anything, and I'm able to hit the Wukong as well, and thanks to a brilliant Sona ultimate and me dodging that Elise Q and then my Ghost, I'm able to get out. But then I think, oh, her Q's down, and it's a long cooldown, so I go back in, and of course it's come right back up, so I just feed there, like an idiot. Now we still came out ahead from that engagement, but there was no reason for me to go feed to Elise. This did get me my Blade of the Ruined King. But I just like misidentified the cooldown on her spells. I thought it was more like a 15-second cooldown, but it was more like an 8-second cooldown because she had blue buff. So I turned back in, got hit by the stun, which she aimed perfectly and timed perfectly. The Elise is playing very well this game. And so that causes a lot of problems. Now, at this point in the game, we basically have one possible move, and that's to start getting a split push going with TF defending their pushes. And it's going to take us a while to realize that, but sooner or later we're going to start it. I think it starts sometime in the next minute or so. And that's when you'll start seeing just how difficult split pushes are frequently to deal with. Now, because I've been farming a lot and I've been on my own a lot, Hecarim is down there splitting bot turret, and so that's perfect. That's exactly what we need. The enemy team is going to have a hard time pushing because our two side lanes are pushing, and we have TF to wave clear. For a good split push, what you need is good counter initiation skills, such as Sona ultimate and Hecarim ultimate, to prevent the enemy team from diving, wave clear to prevent the enemy team from sieging down your turrets, and someone who kills turrets quickly and can 1v1 basically anyone on the enemy team, such as Master Yi, or Tryndamere, or Shaco, or Teemo, who are very common split pushing champions. We have all of those tools on this team. So that's basically our only possible strategy. We're defending here, but fairly soon I'm going to transition down to the bottom lane. We're trying to siege down mid because Fizz is top, and I think we can actually get this, even though Elise can poke very effectively. We see the Wukong invis initiation, but we just back out. For some reason, Wukong doesn't ult when he's standing on TF. They could have won that fight had he done so, because TF didn't back away from Wukong's invis. Hecarim goes up to melee the turret, which is a huge mistake. You should never do that. But MF just ignores me. And they don't peel for her at all, so I just chop her down. We kill Wukong. I'm standing here hitting the Elise, and I fail at my ultimate. I don't think I could have killed her anyways, but obviously I would have lived had I ulted earlier. So big mechanics mistakes, very poor play from me. But we want to fight, because the other team engaged this one very badly. And so suddenly, my mind is a little bit closer to being in the game. I'm starting to think, hey, maybe we can win this. I'm deciding to go eye-edge here because I know I'm just going to be split pushing. So I sell my cloth armor, which actually I didn't need to because we were going to knock down a turret. And I'm pretty sure we can get a second turret here, which gives us a huge amount of pressure in the mid lane to try to knock down an inhibitor. With an open inhibitor, we're actually suddenly not only back in this game, but ahead. And now we can start getting a really good split push going, because the other team has this gaping hole in their defenses. So, now that my brain's back in it, I'm like, yo, guys, stay around Baron. Start pressuring Baron, pressure mid, and just let me split push bottom lane. The other team's on the Baron. But I cannot get there in time. But we should be able to pick off a couple kills. I'm actually, I got the bot lane pushing again, so we wouldn't lose turrets while we're trying to defend against the Baron. And then I make my way back towards the mid lane. I actually probably just should have stayed pushing, but that's okay. We gave up Baron, we got a kill, and as Last Duelist is pointing out to me, as one of the viewers in this game, he's agreeing with what I just said earlier, that you need a wave clear for split pushing, and so I've already identified all the tools that we needed to split push that our team does possess. Also, I picked up a lot of gold because I free farmed bot. Twitch probably should not be down here. What we should do is, again, just have me split push bottom lane. Once Baron is down, when Baron's up, split pushing top lane is often correct. But when Baron is down, you want to split push bottom lane because it pulls pressure. The further push you can keep bottom lane without them being able to just Baron, the more pressure you will have once the Baron comes back up. So here I am just walking over here. I'm recalling. I'm going to go pick up some wards because I need those in order to split push effectively. And then I'm probably going to have to defend mid, help defend mid against this giant push. I sell my Dornblade to pick up a pickaxe as well, just to give me a little bit more damage, knock down turrets faster, 1v1 better. So here I noticed that they're diving, because my team unfortunately was not able to use their counter-initiate skills as effectively as we could hope. So I go in, I decide to just trade for Wukong here, because when you're losing these engages, anytime you can trade for someone, it will let you defend against the push a little better, and as it happens, I actually make it out, just using my ultimate and spinning out. I'm also going to get home guards, which are good both for split pushing, because they allow you for map presence, and for defending, of course. Home guards are just in general the best tier 3 boots. They give you a huge amount of map positioning, and they give you a huge amount of map presence. Lulu actually dies to the turret on the way out after I kill her, which gives us the ability to chase in and maybe potentially take an inhibitor. So we chase in. I'm going to spin. I save my spin until I'm up to these creeps so I can attack and just clear that whole wave, getting us a push mid. And then we go in to take the inhibitor. And what we should do here is just turn onto the inhibitor. As it happens, Hecarim decides to dive Elise and I follow, which is stupid. Had I just turned onto the inhibitor and had Twitch not run bottom lane for no reason, we could have just taken a free inhibitor. So that was a huge misplay by us. Just not taking the objective. We got greedy, we went for kills, and we dove turrets. Just getting cocky because we were winning. We had a completely free inhibitor there, had just the three of us stayed there and knocked it down. Instead we didn't, so now we're suddenly in a huge amount of trouble again. Once again, our objective is going to be to try to split push. Here I am lamenting the lack of taking a free inhibitor, but, you know, it happens. I also am going to end up selling these wards to finish my eye edge. I'll never get to use them. They were still the correct buy, and selling them is also correct, because the eye edge will give me a huge spike in power. Sometimes that just ends up happening, especially when weird things happen like this. I don't do that early. I run in to scare off the enemy team, slow them. We need to not give up infinite kills here. I ult to survive a little bit early, but I'm going to spin through here to try to survive. I don't hit Q, so MF flashes in and kills me, but that's okay, because MF flashing in is actually awesome for us, since she then just dies. And Elise is getting out thanks to the Lulu here. It looks like Note TF is able to come in and gold card her to death. We correctly don't chase Lulu and go for the inhibitor. This is going to give us, again, more map presence, and this will let us close out the game, hopefully, because of the map presence. Now is when I'm going to sell my wards. So here I am talking about team strategy. Now we can just let me take outer turrets top, while they pressure mid and Baron. While they pressure bot. Because mid's going to push in. Naturally, it's going to force the enemy team to defend the mid lane. I'm thinking I can only sell 2 wards, but I forget how little wards sell for, so I have to sell all 3. And I am going to be able to run up. Using my home guards, you notice how fast I can get to the top lane, which is already pushing. I don't like this dragon call by us. We should just be clearing the bot wave and then backing out. And then my team should just stick around bottom lane. Or around mid to defend. So my team is doing dragon, which again, I really don't like that. The other team could just barrel down mid or could catch them at the dragon, like Fizz had a long time to get there. Notice how many of the other team is top. You'll see that MF is here, and pretty soon Wukong and Elise are going to show as well. So I'm just backing out. because I know that they're going to come for me. There's Wukong. And so I'm saying, go bot, go bot, go bot, get turrets, go bot, but my team is just going to hang out mid. Really should have gone bot and gotten turrets. You know, if they had just run bot now, rather than Hecarim coming to help me and other people dicking around mid lane, we could have got bot turret for free there. So that was a mistake by my team. I'm asking them to please go bottom lane while I bring people top. Because when there's 3 people top, we could have gotten a free fight win or a free turret. But instead they're arguing about whether or not TF has gotten blue buffs this game, which is utterly irrelevant. So now the enemy team is doing what is probably correct, and because they are stronger than us as 5, they're going to make a coordinated push down mid lane. But remember what I said about having wave clear and having counter initiation skills. If the other team tries to dive on us in a small location, we are going to be able to... that's a mistake there, I shouldn't have used that Fury. You chain Hecarim ult, Sona ult, and Twitch ult into a teamfight win. But all they have to do is just delay the enemy team while I knock down inhibitors. As long as all 4 of my teammates don't die, one death is okay. I'll be able to get an inhibitor here. And if the other team gets mid-inhib, well, we're just still up an inhibitor. As long as we don't lose double turrets, we're totally fine. So here I'm able to knock down an inhib turret. Somehow we actually trade kills there and successfully win that fight. Actually, it's not somehow. We're able to trade kills there and successfully win that fight because MF and Wukong come back to defend against my split push. I just use my Blade of the Ruin King to slow Misfortune and walk out. Don't even have to ult or anything. And my team was able to take that 4v3 that they got and win it because the other team backed off to defend against my split push. And this is why split pushing is so hard to deal with. So now I want my team to go get Baron while I go pressure bot. I'm going to clear the enemy jungle as well just to gain some gold and also give them fewer things to do. I'm going to stop here, clear this wave, and make sure mid pushes in as quickly as possible because it will force the enemy team to stay inside their base while my team can pressure the Baron. So we either get Baron for free here, or I get bottom inhibitor. Because if the enemy team sends one person to stop me, I'll kill them and take the inhibitor because no one on the other team can stop me except Elise. Or they send 2 people to stop me, and we get Baron for free or win the fight. Or they send no one to stop me and I just get an inhibitor. Even if the other team goes and wins a fight, 5v4, and takes Baron, they can't end the game and they won't be able to push turrets off of that, which will mean I will be able to get an inhibitor, and inhibs are better than Baron. It's always worth it to trade Baron for an inhibitor. So here we can see the other team has sent 4 people to stop me because otherwise they're going to lose an inhib turret, and my team is just over there taking Baron for free. So we get a free Baron, and now TF actually picks off MF who's out of position, or tries to pick off MF who's out of position. I don't know if he's going to get him. I see that everyone except Elise is gone and the turret's really low, so I'm just going to auto-attack the turret, and I'm going to use my ultimate, use my ghost, use my Blade of the Ruin King a little bit late there, and just walk out. So I knock down a turret, my team is pressuring top because they are stronger 4v4, because Elise is a big chunk of the enemy team's power, and because we've gained so much power from global objectives. We're putting damage on the inhibitor, which they are going to be unable to stop, and I am now able to collapse in here onto the back line. Again, the counter initiation is very powerful. I chop down Misfortune, and just let my team clean up while I take the inhibitor. And that is the game. We can go end it. I'll be able to take a bunch of double turrets. And so as you can see, all we had to do that game was just force them to split up by split pushing. I was able to draw 3 people top. We could have taken bot turret there, we didn't. I was able to draw 2 people top while they tried to push mid, and so we were able to win that fight, and I got an inhibitor. Then I was able to pull people away from the Baron, and we were able to take bottom inhibitor. So this is just showcasing split pushing Tryndamere and how you win the game despite being behind, despite me having given up, despite me not even playing very well that game. That strategy is very hard to deal with. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found it useful and interesting. This was recorded live at twitch.tv/Iteran, and of course you can feel free to follow me there, as well as comment, rate, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And yeah, I really appreciate all of your comments and subscriptions and ratings and everything. I love it when people give me feedback, so please do not hesitate to do so. Let me know if I said something wrong, or if you found something not as instructional as it could have been. And once again, thank you for watching.